Hi, DelusionDispeller, back to talk more about the Social Network movie and my review of it, my thoughts on it, etc. So, Mark and Eduardo ended up having a talk after Mark forgot to pick him up at the airport and left him there waiting for hours and hours after a very long flight and a lot of waiting at other airports. He just left him there. He never picked him up and brought him to the house. So he finally, I guess, had to take a cab to get to where he was. And when he went and confronted Mark, Mark didn't apologize. Instead, he tried to get Eduardo excited about him creating the Facebook wall. And I guess, again, this is why I'm kind of turned off to Facebook, to be honest with you. Because it's like, yeah, this guy made all this nice stuff for us, but he was screwing his friend over and being mean and rude and narcissistic and just tactless and, I don't know, just yucky towards his friend, supposedly his best friend. And so his friend comes in, he's exhausted. Where were you? I waited for all this time and you never picked me up. Mark's response is, you got to see this wall that I built. Really? That is not a best friend. Your best friend does not ignore your pain and get excited about something they've achieved. That's just rude and narcissistic. So then Mark asks how Eduardo and his girlfriend is. And Eduardo tells him, crazy, irrational. Basically, things were not going well with Eduardo and his girlfriend. I'm pretty sure they broke up. Mark's response to that is, well, it's good you have a girlfriend, right? Seriously? If this is how autistic and Asperger people act, people with Asperger's, then that's narcissistic behavior, whether they're autistic or not. It's still narcissistic behavior. You don't pour your heart out to a friend or have them pour their heart out to you and then sit there and say, well, at least you got a girlfriend. That's just, oh man, beyond my even thinking capacity of somebody treating somebody that way. All right. So Eduardo tells Mark that he doesn't want Sean representing himself or representing the company or being part of the company and, having any major part in it because he thinks Sean is crooked, which Sean is. Mark tells Eduardo he needs to move to California because Facebook is becoming super big fast and he doesn't want Eduardo to get left behind. He also tells him that Sean set up meetings all over the town. Eduardo shouts at Mark, I'm aware of that, Mark. I'm the CFO. He's the one handling all the business end of things. So he knows what's going on with the company. And all he hears Mark doing is telling him how big this thing is going to be. And he's got to be on the bandwagon or he's going to be left behind. Meaning he's going to move on with Sean and Eduardo's going to be in the dirt. Well, Eduardo was doing his part to promote Facebook. That sounded really bad. That was not what I meant to say. Eduardo was doing his part to promote Facebook, and he was upset because he's saying, look, I'm doing my part too, but I don't hear you, praising me for anything I'm doing or giving me credit of any kind. You're just raving about this Sean guy. So Eduardo gets upset, and he finally decides, I'm canceling all my credit cards, I'm canceling all my check payments to this business, and I'm going to be done with it. They may as well, fund it themselves. All right? So, as much as you're cheering for Eduardo, yay, you're taking back your power, it kind of backfires in his face. Like so many times we confront and try to deal with narcissists. So, Mark talks to Eduardo. He gets him to sign contracts. And eventually, Eduardo finds out that his share in the stocks for the company has been dropped super, super low, like almost to nothing, while Sean and Mark's and a couple other guys that were working on this project with Mark maintained their stock percentages. So Sean told him that his name was no longer on Facebook, that Eduardo's name was no longer on Facebook. This was Sean's idea of taking revenge on Eduardo for pulling out financially. Well, it goes on and on and on, and basically the story really kind of doesn't end in a way that I had hoped it would, which would be Mark would be held accountable in a big way. He wasn't. He was, yeah, he had to pay back some money and stuff like that. And I think he had to come under some guidelines. But as you see, we have Facebook, which is not a bad thing. But a lot of shady stuff goes on behind the scenes with how Facebook is run. So anyhow, I'm not getting into all of that. But at any rate, that is what I wanted to explain to you, was the way that things were going on behind the scenes with Mark mistreating his friend, with a lot of the tactless attitudes and things like that. Now, is Mark Zuckerberg exactly like the guy that acted his part? I don't know. I haven't really studied Mark Zuckerberg all that closely. I'm just looking for evidences of narcissistic behavior just in general, so I can give examples. This is what a narcissist does. It's not to point fingers of judgment at anybody. It's just to say that this type of behavior, whether it's regarding Facebook or who knows what a narcissist is doing, it's wrong and it's evil and it hurts people, and that's basically what I was making this video about. So that is my video review on The Social Network. If you have comments, or you can maybe capitalize a little bit more on the ending of the video or the movie, please do. I welcome all the comments. Just be nice, don't be rude, and no trolls and all that stuff. Anyway, that's all I have to say on that. So God bless you. Thank you for watching, and I'll look forward to your comments, your criticisms, your questions. If you want to write to me, DelusionDispeller@gmail.com. Keep watching my videos, and I'll be back again when I have another important thing that weighs on my mind and that I want to share. God bless. Bye.